What up, YouTube? This is Jamie the Kid 00, and boy have I got news for you. The new OCG ban list has recently broken like an ugly wave across the internet today, and things are looking to get shaken up in the TCG world if the OCG list is to carry over, as it quite often does. I don't have much blurb to talk about. I'm going to get straight into this, and leave your comments in the section below because I want to see what you guys think of these decisions. Alright, we'll move straight in at the banned end. New on the banned list, I'm not going to do all the old stuff, you all know that. New on the ban list, we have FISHBORG Blaster. This is effectively gonna kill every fish deck out there. Not saying that's a bad thing, some fish decks are broken as, but I don't think it needed to be banned. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I think there are some much more dangerous decks out there. I don't know about the meta of the OCG, but I'm hoping that FISHBORG doesn't carry over because I don't think fish decks are that overpowered. Moving on to the next one, we have Mind Master. This should have been banned quite a while back. It really does make a lot of psychic decks quite overpowered, lets you get the OTK combo off. Limiting it to one only really slowed it down. We didn't see that much play of it in tournaments, but it was still capable of doing that trick. So it has to go because it's enabling the OTKs. The next one, a really big card to be hit, is Giant TRUNADE. It's straight back onto the ban list now after it was recently. No, wait, ignore me. It's now banned. It's now banned. Again, it was an OTK enabling card. However, when we get into restricted cards, you'll see why I don't think TRUNADE should have been banned. I think both of the cards that they should have been. Anyway, TRUNADE has been banned. That's gonna cause some problems. And then finally, we've got one trap card in the Forbidden Cards section. It is Royal Oppression. Royal Oppression. Why? I mean, it helped anti-meta decks to slow down the meta. And it was teched in some meta decks to great success, like with X-Sabers and things like that. But to see it hit, it was a bit of a shock to me. I didn't predict that. But that's all that's been banned, luckily. But the restriction isn't much better. Moving on to the restricted cards, we have Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning on top of the list. Now, I personally and a lot of my friends saw it coming because Blackluster Soldier was released in Gold Series, and we thought, why are they doing that? What is the point? They'll re-release that. They'll bring that back off the ban list. I bet you and they did. That's going to bring Chaos decks into the top format for me. You know, in my prediction, Chaos decks are going to start coming up. But the plant engine has suffered some serious hits. In the restriction and section now, Debris Dragon is down to 1. It hit to 2 in the last format, which was a good hit. It balanced it out more. Now that it's going down to 1, plant decks and things that use Debris Dragon are going to seriously need to just find a way to make up for it, really. That's a really big hit, in my opinion. Also, equally big, Lonefire Blossom is down to 1. You won't see any more of that deck thinning. And the Mystic Tomato and things like that, those spams are going to start going down. The Glow Up Bulb spams with Lonefire are going to start going down. Sorry about this, I've got a bit of a cold. Plant decks have taken a bit of a hit, but it's not enough to stop them looking at some of these lists and knowing that in the TCG they have access to Tengu and Tour Guide, which some people are assuring me it won't be hit in the new list, and I'm worried that they won't be. Moving on, we have some synchro monsters in the restriction. These are all pretty big things. First up, we have, to my discern, Legendary 6 Samurai Shien. Now, as a Samurai player, but also as a fair player, I stand by saying that Samurai were never that overpowered. I don't think Shien needed to go to 1. I think it's okay at 2, but to 1, that's really damaging in my opinion. I don't think it needed to be done. Personally, my Samurai deck is now on eBay. Help a guy out. I'm poor as it is. I need to make the money back on that. That's my shameless pimping for the day. The next card is Tech Genus Hyper Librarian. Again, a big hit, but I don't think that's enough to slow it down. In a lot of duels I faced Hyper Librarian, it's only come out once. I don't think it needed. I think it needed to either be banned or left alone, in my opinion. But to 1 is still a good hit, I suppose. Another card is Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron is now down to 1, so we're going to see a lot less of the shooting star plays, and the level 1 decks are going to suffer some hits as well, in my opinion. Oh, sorry about this. To see Formula Synchron down, that was a shock for me. But I suppose a lot of people have been abusing it for its one draw and then its synchro away ability. Now here is the shocker: Heavy Storm is back out. So if you got your Starlight Roads, grab them quick and put them in your decks because you're gonna need them. Heavy Storm is back in place of Giant TRUNADE, in my opinion. That's gonna change things a bit because now with Dark Hole and Heavy Storm about, things are going to get quite dangerous. You're going to have some trouble committing to the board. I know I am. Hang on a minute. And rolling. Next up, we have Primal Seed. I guess that was an emergency ban, really, seeing as they brought Blackluster Soldier back to 1. I don't think that's going to have much of an impact in the game. We'll leave that there. Next up, we had SHIEN'S Smoke Signal is put to 1. Again, I don't think that needed to happen. I think Samurai were downpowered enough by Gateway. I personally played Samurai at quite a number of tournaments recently, and I haven't managed to get that high. The end of the Samurai era had ended in the March ban list. September did not need to do this much. But, what's done is done. And also, Pot of Avarice is down to 1. Now, that is going to change a lot of graveyard decks. Personally, I'm glad I'm running 5th Hope in my heroes now, because Pot of Avarice ain't going to be much use now. But down to 1, that's a pretty steep climb, but that's going to affect the meta, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it changes, because I don't run that many plant decks anymore. Anyway, that's it for the restriction. Moving on to the semi-restricted cards. Again, some strange choices, but we'll see how it plays out. Summon a Monk has gone to 2, so we're probably going to see Summon a Monk a lot more in decks now. I'm glad I've got 2 personally, so I'm going to be playing a lot more of that. Especially my scraps, actually. I might bring my scraps back. Tragoedia is up to 2 from 1, I do believe. Interesting choice. I can't say I know that much about Tragoedia, so I'm going to move on. If you have any opinions on how that's going to impact the meta, please let me know in the comment box below. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you guys. Next up, we have NECRO GARDNA. That's been bouncing up and down the ban list for as far as I've been checking. Again, that's going to give more power to Light Swords, I feel. This looks to me like it's going to be a Light Sworn format when we go down this list. Twilights, Light Swords, things like that. Definitely seeing a lot of love in this list. Duloran, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier, has gone to semi-restricted. I don't think that's a massive impact. Destiny draw to 2. Destiny engines and heroes, I feel, will start to pick up again. Destiny decks are going to start to pick up, maybe. That's gonna cause some changes, I think. Swords of Revealing Light to 2. Now, normally I think that was a pretty cool development, and I might roll with that. I might run 2 swords. But with Heavy Storm out there, I don't think it's going to be worth it. I think Swords of Revealing Light went up to 2 because of Heavy Storm. And I don't think that's going to have much of a meta change. Mind Crush to 2. That's going to impact a lot of searching, I feel. But I don't think it's going to have a massive impact on gameplay. I don't see that much Mind Crush run anyway. It's mainly teched by a select few duelists. So Mind Crush to 2 isn't that much of an impact. Call All the Haunted to 2. They really are making Limit Reverse obsolete now. With Call of the Haunted to 2, you have no use for Limit Reverse anymore. You can just reborn stuff. And with Call of the Haunted, it's gonna be a tricky format. That's gonna be, again, plants have seen some hurt, but they've also seen some love. So answers on a postcard. Send me your comments. That's it for semi-restriction. Moving on to no longer restricted, we have. I'm going to speed this up, actually. I think I'm running out of time. Judgment Dragon to 3. Light Swan's seeing a lot of love there. Judgment Dragon to 3. We're going to see that a lot more in tournament play, I feel. They're going to be judgment-based decks. Something that I really don't like the look of is Spirit Reaper to 3. Stalling is going to start happening, and it's going to start happening bad. Spirit Reaper at 2 is already causing a lot of slowdowns in games. It's causing a lot of clogging. I'm not looking forward to seeing a format with 3 Spirit Reapers running around. Overload Fusion to 3. Maybe Dark Machines might see a comeback. Maybe Chimera Tech might see a few comeback, but I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact anymore with Tengu decks and things like that doing the runabout. MST to 3 would have been a good thing, but Heavy Storm is at 1 now, so I'm probably going to stick to just 2 MSTs and a heavy storm, or maybe just the 1 MST and a heavy storm. I don't know. I'm probably not going to take full advantage of that. Megamorph to 3. We're going to see some different OTK based decks, I think. Maybe some Psychics will be using Megamorph. Maybe that's why they took down Mind Master. I'm not entirely sure. Here's a painful one. Gravity Bind to 3. Watts. So my friend who runs Watts is going to like that. Her deck's going to be coming back. It's going to cause a bit more stalling. I'm not sure what decks will really run that. I might run it on my scraps quite personally, because the Scrap Dragon deal. Might have to do that. Might be quite a fun deal. And finally, a little bit of love to the beleaguered Blackwings. Bless them. Icarus attack will be going to 3 in the OCG. Alright then, guys, that has been the OCG scans for the OCG ban list. So let's see what actually carries over into the TCG. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for new information with the new ban list. I'm also going to keep my eyes peeled for the new decks that are going to be built post-ban list. So I'm going to try and keep you guys informed over this period. I think things are going to change quite a bit in the next few weeks in the TCG as well as the OCG. This has been Jamie the Kid 00 on the ban list. I'll see you guys in the comment box. Have a good one.